Hi, I'm Rob, and in this Gems of War video, going to take a look in the Soulforge and take a first look at this midweek re-review, recap, revisit. I don't know what I'm calling it yet, but I've got to call it something, and I'll let you know what it is when I decide. Anyway, last night a man was hit over the head with a violin, a clarinet, and finally a French horn. Police are saying it was an orchestrated attack. Anyway, what basically happens is the Mythic and Legendary troops get swapped out halfway through the week, give or take. It's not quite half, otherwise it would happen halfway through the day on the 4th day, but never mind. But anyway, it gets changed this morning at reset to 4 new Mythics and 4 new Legendaries, and it's definitely important to come and check them out. Because look at this one here, we have a Bahamata. It's one of these ones that was previously in the PvP shop for a whopping 2,500 gold marks, which is an awful lot. I never bothered buying them for the gold marks, I thought it was just too much. And it's not like they do anything fantastically special. This one does a damage to all enemies, magic +2, boosted by purple dragon gems, a barrier, and enchant itself. And it's quite a handy spell, but the point is there's plenty of other troops that do damage to all with benefits basically. So nothing special for me to warrant spending my gold marks on, especially for 2,500 gold marks, which is what it costs to get this kind of thing from the PvP shop. You can have like 25 different books of deeds for that, and they are much harder to get in the game than a kind of troop that you've already got that does a similar kind of thing. So anyway, that aside, it is here. Let's take a look at the traits. Allied dragons gain 2 life, not a very good trait. Reduce damage from spells by 25%, not bad. And 50% chance to convert a purple gem to a purple dragon gem when my turn begins. Could help it get mana quicker, because if one of those purple dragon gems is a purple match, then the way that the dragon gems work, you can actually pick up a lot more mana than a standard purple match. So yeah, not bad, not bad. I do like the fact it barriers and enchants itself, and because I've got all the normal mythics in the game, I may as well pick this one up because I've not got it yet, and yeah. Now we've got it. Thank you very much. But let's take a look at the other ones. But you have only got 3 days to get this kind of thing. So if you're thinking about it, sitting on the fence, then go get it while you can. The next mythic that has been changed this week is Wrath Amon. And this is a really good one. It creates a mix of 24 purple gems and skulls, gain 20 souls, and cleanse all allies. Lots of good things to like about this if you're a newer player to the game. And even an experienced player. Because basically that mix of 24 purple gems and skulls is a set in stone amount. You could be level 1 and just started playing it and just somehow by magic managed to craft this troop, and you will still create a mix of 24 purple gems and skulls. The same amount as a level 4,000 player who's been playing the game for 24 hours a day since it came out. That is really good. Gives you the same kind of advantage, even though of course you won't be as hitting hard regarding attack, which is where those skull hits come into play. But the point is, the actual mixture of skulls and purple gems you create is the same as a super high level player, even if you're new to the game. And you still gain the souls and cleanse all allies, which is a nice side effect as well. And gain 4 souls when my turn begins, and gain 50% bonus souls from battle means this is a really good troop to just use in all-round battles if you still need souls in the game, because that necromancy, the soul gatherer, and the spell really help it add up. So very good indeed, and a pretty devastating spell in its own way. With all that purple and skull, 24 of them. You've got to be pretty unlucky not to get a match on that, and it uses purple itself, so it can self-charge and do it again. So Wrath Amon, really good mythic. I do like it a lot, even though there is an element of chance with any troop, which creates a mixture of gems and skulls like that, because it still can backfire and give you no matches, even though there's like however many purple and skulls on the board when you cast it. Who is next? We have Aquaticus, another excellent troop. Now, not so much for the spell, which is just okay. Deals light splash damage to 3 random enemies and explode half the blue gems on the board, so can self-charge and do it again because she uses blue. But also for Tsunami, submerge all allies when matching 4 or more gems. This is really fantastic against those damage to all teams like Stellarix teams, Crystanthorax teams, other dragon teams, Queen Beatrix, King Gobtruffle, all those annoying troops that do that damage to all. Aquaticus in your team, just get a 4-match, everyone submerged, and all those troops just kick air. Absolutely fantastic troop just for that. So Aquaticus, certainly worth considering if you get sick to the back teeth of getting obliterated by those damage to all teams, like I just mentioned. Tian Yi, yeah, it sounds like it's kind of good and everything, but it's not quite as good as it sounds. Looks like it does a decent amount of heavy splash damage to an enemy and stun all affected enemies. So damage with a stun can be useful depending upon what team you're fighting. If the stun knocks out one of their really handy traits like a Queen Beatrix, stops her then being able to cleanse the whole team and things like that. And deal double damage from my attack is greater. So you do have to be more powerful than the enemy regarding attack to get that benefit of the spell, which is not great. And it does have a summon of 1 to 3 monkey disciples, which is okay. Halve enemy gem masteries is not a bad trait. It stops them getting mana quicker, so they don't get as many mana surges. You can have a chance to dodge skull damage, but it's not recommended to have this up top, because basically that monkey magic, the longer he's in the team, the more you're going to steal magic from the first enemy. So once you kill that first enemy, then the next enemy becomes the first enemy. So you start stealing magic from them. And because you steal it, you're adding it to your own, which increases your damage. So the agile thing is a bit silly, because you don't really want him up top or in line of skull damage. So yeah, he's not that great overall, is Tian Yi. But yeah, some of these other ones, particularly Aquaticus and Rathaimon and Bahamata, are very good indeed all round. Particularly, I think, Rathaimon and Aquaticus for that lovely submerge. Right, who's next? So we have Shadow Dragon. This is now the legendaries. Poison all enemies and deal magic +1 true damage to a random enemy. Transform all yellow gems to purple to boost the effect. And it does gain 1 attack when matching purple gems, as well as gain bonus purple from purple gems. It's getting a bit long in the tooth now. Not that its teeth look that long anyway, but you do have to be careful of it, because transforming all yellow to purple, you do have to look out for that, otherwise you could actually set up the enemy instead. But it does give you a chance to actually look out for 4 matches and an extra turn and things like that too. Stellestasia. Stellestasia creates 11 gems of a chosen ally's mana color. Cleanse and give them magic based life. It's like less than double, but more than times 1, if you know what I mean. It's just getting a little bit old again now. This is one of those ones that's not that useful. Creating 11 gems of a chosen ally's mana color. Again, there's a chance that the AI could just decide to set the enemy up, so that can work against you. You will gain the life and the cleanse, but there's just better ways of getting life and cleanse in Celestasia now. And gain a barrier on 4 or 5 gem matches is okay. It is tough scales, but that last one would have been better if it was gain a barrier to a random ally or something on 4 or 5 gem matches, because it's only going to go on itself. And once you've got a barrier, any more 4 matches are going to be wasted, and you're not getting the benefit of that Celestial Shield. So yeah, that is what it is there. Who's the other two? Captain Saltclaw. Heavy splash damage to 2 random enemies boosted by blue gems, so basic damage with a boost, and give 2 magic to all rogue allies when matching 4 or more gems. Okay. And Dragonstone Guardian. Deal magic based damage to all enemies, then create a mix of 5 good and evil gargoyle gems. And a 35% chance to give reflect to a random ally when my turn begins is okay. And reduce damage from skulls by 50% is the best of the traits. So yeah, not too bad. Dragonstone Guardian. But there it is! There's the recap of re-review of whatever I'm calling it. I have no idea. But who is my midweek Mythic of the Week? I don't know. That's a bit of a weird thing to say, but let's make a decision. Rathaimon is really good. This is the kind of thing that's kind of really tricky for me, because there's several mythics here which are really good depending upon your situation in the game and what annoys you most in the game and what level you are and things like that. Like Bahamata for me is the best one today because I haven't got it. It's the only one I haven't got, so therefore I'm going to pick it up and it gives me an extra choice. But basing this on who's here, and if I had none of them in the game and I could only pick one of them, which is kind of the idea of it, I would probably pick Aquaticus. But this is where it gets weird. I'm not saying she's the best mythic here, because You know, Wrath Aemon is absolutely devastating as well. Could be absolutely, you know, he's absolutely fantastic in those kind of things. But there's other things that do a similar kind of thing, like the Wild King and Wild Queen. They both create loads of skulls and can do devastating damage. But there's no one quite like Aquaticus who can submerge all allies when matching 4 or more gems. As simple as that. And when you do that, it saves you from all that damage from all those crazy high damage Stellarix, Chrysanthrax, Diamantina teams, King Gobtruffle, Queen Beatrix. The list goes on of those annoying damage to all teams. So she's a well-known streamer. That's quite funny. I've only just noticed that. So for me, on an all-round how useful she is to save you from stuff and everything else, I would say Aquaticus is my mythic of the week. But it doesn't mean to say that the other ones aren't worthwhile either, because to some people, Wrath Aemon is absolutely amazing and so totally devastating. And obviously this one down here, worth picking up if you haven't got it. So they're all good in their own way, apart from Tian Yi, who's actually a little bit rubbish. But for all-round defensive ability, some surprise damage and potential recharge to do it again, I'm giving it to Aquaticus, and that's the end of it.